Bringing Luciano Zaccara from the Gulf Studies Centre at Qatar University. Luciano, really good to see you. You, of course, are in Qatar, one of the mediators, along with Egypt and the US, that are trying to bridge the gap between the two sides. What are you hearing?
Well, actually, we are hearing the same that everybody is saying, that there are a lot of contradicting information. Hamas says that they received the draft proposal. Israel, we heard two different things, that they received it and they did not receive it. We still keep listening that even though there has been progress and there are some signals from the Israeli side that they are interested in signing this time, again, we hear other voices that the members of the far-right coalition in Israel would say no to any kind of deal. So regardless of what Netanyahu is willing to sign, there are part of his government that they will reject any kind of negotiation or concession to Hamas. So still, we have to be optimistic because there are still room for maneuver a few weeks before Trump inauguration. But we have to be cautiously optimistic because we heard this kind of situation before, that we were about to sign a deal in a few days and did not happen. They keep saying that we are in a critical moment, that it will be signed today or tomorrow. So far, we didn't hear details about it.
Yeah, you can understand the cynicism given the 90% completed line that we heard from Antony Blinken before when it came to this ceasefire deal. But what do you, and you mentioned Israeli politics there playing a big part in this, domestic politics, and of course the far right of Benjamin Netanyahu's government. But what are you hearing about the actual sticking points? Because they seem to be, Hamas were cautious about implementing the first phase, and then the Israeli hostages are released, but then Israel doesn't complete the deal and move on to the second phase. But also that Israel wanted to maintain a military presence in Gaza, whereas Hamas wanted them to be fully withdrawn from the Strip. So what are you hearing about the sticking points?
Well, actually, this has been the main conflict of interest since the very beginning, the military presence of Israel, the continuation of the military presence mainly in the Philadelphia corridor, and the fact that Israel still wants to avoid making a full-time agreement in terms of a permanent ceasefire, but only temporary one in the first phase until second or third phase, and Hamas is not willing to accept that condition. It seems that now the pressure is in both sides, that Hamas has no many options to continue pushing for this condition to be accepted by Israel, because they know that Trump will arrive to power and the situation will be much worse. But on the other hand, there is a lot of pressure towards Netanyahu by both Biden and the next Middle East negotiator from Trump administration to get the deal before Trump's reach power. So it's possible to think that maybe Netanyahu is accepting some kind of condition that they were not accepted before, because what we heard from Hamas is that still this issue is what is preventing an acceptation by Hamas of this deal.
Yeah, just very finally, quickly, in one word, do you think we're going to get a ceasefire deal this week?
I really hope so, because we heard that many times in this more than a year. It seems that now we have room for optimism more than before, so hopefully it's going to happen, but I'm still not 100% convinced.
Hopeful like we all are, but I couldn't get a yes or a no from you. I understand why, though. Luciano, good to see you. Luciano Zaccara from the Gulf Studies Centre at Qatar University.